turn is it?
Who's
It's
the-
my turn.
Oh,
It's
it
my
is your
turn.
turn?
I didn't see us. I didn't think we were on. All right. Welcome back. It is to the Ox Life podcast. It is our last show. We figured we have you guys get involved, so we wanted to make sure that this was active, and so we decided to go live. So here we are. I am your host, one of them. I'm Cano. I mean, I started in as Cano. I think I'm going to go out as Cano. Accompanied by
Let's see what
Marquise.
name.
Okay.
What name am I going by today? I gotta switch it up.
You better get it together.
No,
Fast.
actually, you can go introduce yourself. I'll go right after.
Cedrico in the house. Watch your mouth. Good gang.
That was very hood radish, to be
I'm
honest.
now on, I'm just introducing you guys.
What do you mean?
And my intro, I'm now just introducing
Why?
you
All
guys.
right, I
what
go
are you,
by
embarrassed of
Marquise.
Just
I go by
single-handedly.
Marquise.
Go by Marquise.
I go by Marquise.
That's just it.
Yeah.
No uncle.
You guys are
no,
lame. For the
What do you
last
mean?
show, y'all
No
going
cap.
I do got a
for
new
names.
name though. It's QT, but you can't say it fast. So
That's so 2007, dude. Like,
I brought it back to life. So it is what it is.
Uncle, unreal.
You feel me?
Nice. I bet.
No.
I'm just trying to move on. Okay, so again, let's just get right into our stuff here. 2 cents on recent events is one of our segments we always start off with.
Yeah.
So who wants to go? Anybody got anything new that they want to share or anything in the news that maybe stuck out?
Oh, the Amazon.
The Amazon
Amazon.
thing is pretty, yeah.
There was like, I heard somebody purposely did that. Like, I guess some lawmakers down in Brazil, like, deliberately.
There's been some rumors that like there was a indigenous tribe that won a lawsuit to protect the Amazon, and then
From the oil
lo and
pipeline.
behold, it started burning. So what they won to protect is being burnt down.
But the good news is
So,
it was
yeah.
raining for the past couple of days, which I hope
Right.
cleared most of that fire out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
And
did
hope
see
they
that.
don't-
Yeah.
hope they don't use that land for fucking farming purposes, which is what they're trying to do, not knowing that Amazon is what 20% of the ecosystem of the world's ecosystem.
Preach.
Provides animal life, wildlife, nature,
It's nature, boy.
breath of fresh air. Ric Flair. Yeah, man, that's it for me. It's pretty tragic that
I don't
it's
know.
going down
insightful.
like that.
It's insightful.
You got anything?
Yeah, this Popeye sandwich thing is just really kind of
Oh.
taking over.
First of all, I had the sandwich way before the shit.
Listen, I was not aware of it. I just don't care. I just don't see why it's such a big deal. So
I
yeah,
care.
Just don't care whether it be Popeyes.
It's just one of those
KFC.
To
fiascos.
see
Like-
people argue over chicken
Like
is very.
But like a month ago, KFC had like the Cheeto one, and I was like, I don't care about this either.
Cheeto?
So
What the-
they had like a Cheeto sandwich, chicken sandwich.
dipped in
Yeah.
Cheeto powder.
What
Right.
kind of cholesterol is
Right.
that?
So it's just, I don't know. It's something I've been seeing recently. Some people are butthurt. I just don't care. Yeah. That's about it. That's my only 2 cents on recent events.
So you want people to start fighting over chicken
I just want
sandwiches?
people to stop caring over things that don't matter. Like,
It's a
yeah.
big deal. People got into fights.
It's not a big deal. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, it's
People catch cases.
simple.
Caught cases.
No.
It's like there's another.
Yeah.
There's like a fiasco
Mhm.
every couple of months over like something stupid, like Popeyes and sneakers, and somebody's dress color.
I don't know.
This
I,
world
I ain't
is
really
sick.
been keeping up with the news and shit like that.
Right.
I don't got nothing for 2 cents. The only thing I want to just update on is Power's back on.
That starts tonight, right? You got stars?
I do.
I'm coming over.
Nope.
Pause.
You're not coming over.
I'm coming over.
No, you're not.
Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
Out of
Couple
here.
Ronas, me in there.
No, I ain't got no
Yeah.
Ronas.
None of that. All right, so I think we're done with our 2 cents on recent events. So I just want to lay down the groundwork for how our live is going to go. We want you guys to be involved, but we also don't want to be repetitive. So as we go on, we're going to be talking about certain segments on our YouTube channel. So the podcast, obviously, I just seen Isaiah. Sorry, shout out to my man Sheed too. I see him over there. Tiana, I see you. Set pause. So we can't do this, but no. So
Why is Isaiah giving
I
out
don't
news?
know, man. Like, he's just too much. Anyway, so we're going to be going over our segments. We have questions about our segments. We want you guys to ask questions that kind of correspond so we're not being repetitive. So if there's a question about the podcast, we want to make sure we provide you an opportunity to get that done in the section provided. If we don't cover all the questions that you want, we're going to have an open session at the end where we could talk about anything. So anything we don't cover, you can access then.
Yeah.
So that's how we're trying to run it, just so that everybody gets their question through and that we don't end up being repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
So first thing is just kind of talking about our podcast. We want to personalize it, talk about what we've been through, what's
Yeah.
it been like. So I just wanted to know, or one question I had to pose was, what have you learned about one another throughout the process of the show?
We've learned a whole lot of. We've been
Yeah.
doing it since March.
May 19th
May
was the
19th.
first episode we ever did.
But before that, we was computing everything back in what?
We had
March, April?
audio. We started getting it
Yeah.
together in February. I think we put out audio in either March or April.
Shit house.
We still have hidden gems that we never release. I think Ages and Nothing But a Number. There's like another audio file
There's a
that we
couple of
never
them.
released.
There's a couple of them. What I've learned. I learned that I'm a bigger procrastinator than I usually fucking am.
This is what you learned about yourself. We knew that.
Y'all knew that already.
We knew that.
Fuck out of here! I didn't
What
know
you
that.
learned about yourself.
Y'all didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I didn't really learn anything else new. I basically know you all, so it's like any other thing is just
Yeah.
like a new
Yeah.
characteristic that comes out. I
Mhm.
know that you're, you know,
What do you know?
you're like
Yeah.
Mr. Professional.
I'm not.
But
But yeah.
Prestige.
prestige?
I'm just organized, man. That's it. That's it.
Bingo.
Yeah, well,
That's what
you're very structured. It's the only thing I got to say about what I've learned about somebody. And Skeeter's just Skeeter.
Yep.
Okay.
What the hell does that mean?
Skeeter's just Skeeter. I don't.
This fucking
I know
guy.
everything already. So what the fuck? You want me to make some shit up?
Yeah.
Try.
Nah, fuck that.
I've learned how to actually work with you guys outside of us living life on a day-to-day basis, like going out to the fucking bar and shit, like actually putting some structure behind something constructive and putting it into place and having it come to life. Just seeing how you guys operate is what I learned. How to I remember me and Knell got into it the other day about because I posted the video while he was at work or something where he had stepped out, and then he was like, "Yo, what you doing?" I was like, "Kind of my assignment."
Yeah,
I'm like,
check your
"Bro,
nuts.
I didn't."
You got nut checked.
All right,
That's not true.
all right, but yeah,
Yeah.
just saying like, I just have belief that he knows he's responsible for his assignment, and just let him get over it. Focus on what you have to do, and yeah, that's pretty much that's what I learned. Just learning
So
how to
basically,
operate.
do your own homework.
Yeah.
is what-
Exactly.
Just to shed light on that, I had a friend talk about that, and he was like, he was just trying to help, and I felt so bad afterwards, and I was just like, man, you're probably right about that. Like, he meant well, and I don't know. I just felt responsible for doing it, and I was trying to get
You
it
felt
done.
bad?
I really felt bad afterwards. Like, I really felt bad because she had made it seem like I was doing the most. I was like, maybe I am, and I'm like, but anyway,
No, I'm not letting that one slide.
yeah, like I
Fuck
really
no.
felt a certain way about it. I was like, man, like maybe you're right. Like maybe it just he was real here trying to help. Like it wasn't done in time. Like it just made sense. And so yeah, I never told him that. I probably wasn't going to, but now that he shed light on the situation, yeah, no, I felt bad about
I
it.
love that. I
afterwards.
ain't believing that bullshit.
do.
You know.
Yeah,
Oh,
guy.
no,
Thank you
fuck
for
no.
accountability.
Yeah, shout out to my
gosh.
yeah.
Shout out to
A. Shout out to A because I didn't feel that way at
Shout out
first.
to A.
I had to be taught to. Yeah, so one thing I learned about you guys is just that you guys have a creative capacity that I was just unaware of. I think when we first got together, the only thing that we knew was basketball.
Right.
Like we played basketball, we maybe hung around, but we never did anything that was constructive that would require us to put in like a collective effort. And so to be able to see a collective effort put forth, Marquise, I think you really shine with just hear me talk, which is like evolved, and now you do like the voice drops and the bell drops, which
Yup.
I forget. God forbid. I'm mad we even put you onto that.
Facts.
But even just seeing Skeeter grow as well, just really being able to see you guys evolve and just really try to take this channel to another level has really been important. So I learned that you guys are capable, just need some pushing. But once you get through that,
That's a fact.
once you get through that, though, I just really feel like the sky's the limit and you can really take it somewhere else. So.
Absolutely.
I was mad sweet, bro.
Right, thank you.
Gross.
But kind of switching that around.
sweet.
Yeah. So just switching that around, what's something that you did not expect throughout the course of like the podcast? What's something that maybe went on that you were just unaware of or didn't really prepare for?
I just thought with the individual people that we know coming into it,
Yeah.
it would be a lot more, you know, viewers, a lot more feedback, and a lot more of everything coming from everybody. So
Yeah.
what the fuck is I saying?
I'll plug you in. I'll plug you into what people are saying. You just say what you're saying.
Nah, but it
Yeah.
it takes a
Happy
lot
for as well.
more work to gain
Yeah.
the attention. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
coming in, I thought it would be easy peasy. Okay, we have our own individual following. Once we put this forward,
Yeah.
it'd be a lot easier. But I realize the attention span is not there.
Yeah.
Well, it's there, but
Mm-hmm.
it's very short. People aren't going to be as tuned in without
Yeah.
actually having like good content to go with. So I think that was something I didn't like coming into it, because I feel like it should have been, like a steady group
Mm-hmm.
just around and involved with
Yeah.
everything, and it just wasn't. It's starting to be like that now, but it just wasn't like that when we first started.
Yeah. What didn't you expect coming into this podcast or wasn't prepared for?
Damn. That's a good question.
I know.
That's interesting.
100
Yeah.
nicknames.
Yep.
Um.
Cedric is the life of the podcast. I just want you to know that's what Isaiah said.
Oh, thanks, Isaiah. You're the man. 50.
Isaiah, stop fucking lying to Cedric.
You're the man. 50.
Stop lying.
I don't know. I think the totality of putting everything together was kind of unexpected.
Yeah.
Again, like what Keith said, I thought everything was just going to be boom, boom, record. But no, there's actually have to be structured. There have to be questions that you have to consider. There have to be talking points. You have to elaborate on certain things. You have to give people substance and depth. So that's one thing I came to learn, but I didn't expect it to be not complex, but more work than what I was already anticipating.
Like the thought process behind it.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, well, shit. This is like our individual 9 to 5 over here. So
Basically,
I guess one thing that I wasn't prepared for is just that people are unpredictable. I think you might have mentioned it earlier on. I think we have collectively over 600 friends, but we have 52 subscribers. I just thought people were going to buy in. We was going to have
that's
I
what
think
that was the thought process behind it.
our first episode. I think we had 150. I think it's up to 162 now, maybe 170. I was like, oh man, we got like 170 views, and then
Right.
the next one maybe gets like 13. You're like,
Right.
wait. Like what is it that I do? Is it a different promotion day? Like is it the snippet? Like
Right.
what is it that we can get more viewers? And
I think
so just knowing that people are unpredictable, I was like, damn, like I don't know how to course through this. Like I don't know how to navigate through unpredictability. So
I mean, we can hold people hostage and like
I've done that and made them subscribe. So
like
There
just
you
put
go.
just put it right there.
it's city
Right.
season, so
mm-hmm.
nothing to snatch somebody up.
Yeah.
Snatch somebody to take it for a ride. Like subscribe.
Right.
You gotta be maxed up though.
T-
But they'll know though.
Yeah. T, I see your question. She wanted to know, where do you see the podcast going in the next year or two? We want to talk about that now, or you want to wait till later?
We can talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later.
We'll
Okay.
talk about it later.
We won't
All right,
forget about your question, T. But yeah, no, I think that's something that's really important. I think we got that.
I have
down
a
here.
question from Gangsta Gary on IG.
Shout out to my mind twin. Yeah, that's him.
How do you
That's my
guys?
guy.
He said you are a professional, nigga. Own that shit. Then he said, "How do you guys
That's
see?
my guy.
How do you
Yeah.
guys see what you have learned coming into play for your next season?"
I just learned that some of my strengths are just like really being organized and just the thought process and really calculating on what it is that I need to do. I think moving forward, I can apply that to new podcasts, new subject matter, and maybe even just like collaboration efforts. I think I can really kind of meet other people where they're at and just show like, hey, this is what I bring, this is what I want to show, and so yeah,
You kind
Answer
of
the
like
question.
downplayed your strengths a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you didn't.
I'm
That's
humble.
like your number one power though. Like it,
I'm humble. But you know,
Oh,
what
you
it
being
is, though.
modest at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
damn
You know
time.
what it is though. Like I think we all know. It's just people got to find out for
nah,
themselves.
speak that shit up. Just let people know.
You and Gary are kind of pushing it right now. Let me not monopolize this conversation, but yeah, to answer his question, I think that's a strength that I see, that I learned, that I can apply moving elsewhere.
I have all weaknesses.
Yeah,
I don't have no strengths.
Right.
I just have to improve all around.
Mm.
I have to really treat this shit like a 9 to fucking 5. Like it that's just that. But no, I think the biggest strengths that collectively as a group, I think once we have something on paper,
Yeah.
once we put some thinking behind it, it's unpredictable in terms of what we might say or something that we might come up with.
Gotcha.
And I think since we know each other,
Yeah.
the flow of the conversation is a lot better. And plus, it got a lot better since day one
Yeah.
Literally,
when we did the first couple of podcasts. And
Right.
after that, it was just steady flowing from there.
right?
Okay. Did you answer that question? I want to make sure you got heard before we move on. Because you know Marquis skip over people.
All the time.
I don't skip. I just think
There's a
y'all
few
said something and I
episodes.
just keep it pushing.
Yeah, because you're,
Hey,
in
what
your,
the fuck
you're in your
ever.
own mind,
Whatever.
asshole.
Glycerin ball head.
Whatever.
Stop distracting him. Let him answer our question so we can move on.
Weaknesses. No strength. No strengths.
Weaknesses. I remember somebody pointed out something that I can be more loud on a mic. That's probably I had a problem with
Yeah.
since day one.
Like no one can hear you. Yeah.
Like no one can hear
You
me
said you gotta do what?
be more loud.
Just more
be
loud and
heard,
clear
yeah, vocal. Yeah.
instead of hiding under the mic. What it seems like.
Okay.
Pause.
So it just seems like mic presence for you is something
Yeah,
that
just
you can work on
just
moving
pretty
forward.
much it.
I got you. So listen, I got 2 more questions just involving our podcast, and then we're gonna move on to Just Let Me Talk. Keep it together, Marquise. What was just your favorite episode throughout the season? So we had 10 episodes. What was your favorite?
My favorite episode, I would have to say, would be. I think Double Standards was kind of like the highlight.
Double Standards was kind of, yeah.
I think it was the highlight. I kind of enjoyed that one.
Mhm.
I did like the Culture Cookout.
Bro, stop picking all the ones. Pick one. Pick
like
one.
Double
Why
Standards.
move on. All right.
I picked Double. I like the pause. I like the climax of the
Climax. Huh?
of that show. So
Go on. Go on in.
All right. What about you?
Um.
I thought Father's Day episode for you was pretty
Right.
relevant.
Yeah, that was
Sorry,
pretty
not to pick
awesome.
yours, but,
I don't have a big head.
Shit, that was a lot of good ones. Honestly, for me, I think our last episode, what-
being black at the
yeah,
workplace.
in the workplace,
Yeah.
I think that was
Yeah.
the one for me.
Mm-hmm.
All about when you was high and then
People ask you for
Yeah.
weed,
yeah,
but then you
yeah,
feel
when it was
targeted
high,
because
when
you're
they
you
high.
shouldn't.
high, you smelled like
When
it.
it, no, I didn't. I didn't.
I'm not gonna
I
get into that
didn't.
argument again. Isaiah really appreciated What Men Want.
Oh yeah, that was another good one. But yeah, that was one for me.
Yeah.
Isaiah kind
That's
of like
what-
throwing shots at somebody
He
because he
did.
keeps bringing this shit the fuck up.
Isaiah, no lie though, I wanted you to come and call in the next show, and it was shot down. I'm just saying, I wanted you to call in. My favorite episode was probably Hookup Culture. First of all, the lighting on me looked really good. That's one. 2, I just
Your
felt like
light
the
skin, what
subject
the hell are
matter.
you talking about?
I'm not going through this with you right
Oh
now.
my
So the
God.
light hit me just right, and I was pretty happy about that. But it was really fun to do. It was something that was relevant in our city. There had been like a Snapchat page of exposing people, and we really got to talk about it. I really think we got to shed some insight. So that's probably my favorite. T, as far as any merch coming soon, I mean, we've been working on it forever, but we got to find what the appropriate logo is. We're about to change our logo, try to do some rebranding.
Yes, we are.
So, yeah. But we'll answer more of that as we move forward. And then
I always want some
What
fucking
Men
clothes.
Want. And then the last question I have just for our podcast is just what are you most proud of?
I'm proud that we're actually doing something positive, something that's
Yeah.
consistent,
Mm-hmm.
something that's actually time consuming in a positive way.
Gotcha.
It sheds light on different creative ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of is setting us up for the future in
Right.
terms of if we can be bigger than what we are now. Because I
Mhm.
honestly think we can.
We will.
yeah, and especially 3 black brothers doing
Mhm.
this podcast.
I got you.
So, it is. I just think we it's something greater coming along. So
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm most proud of the growth, you guys. Group hug it
I'm
in.
not fucking hugging you.
I'm not probably.
That's fine.
Said no.
Yeah, just to see us doing something outside of the society norm, like working a damn 9 to 5, going home,
I work 8 to 4.
stepping whatever it is, stepping out to the bar every weekend. We actually have another element to us,
Yeah.
and we always knew that. It was just like, how can we exploit that? And the fact that we came up with this idea, and what 8 months in, 9 months in, been an amazing quest. So I'm proud of the growth and where we're at today, and I cannot wait for the next 5 years. I know we're gonna get to that bag, that shmoolah.
Next 5 years, I'm gonna be
Gotcha.
old as fuck.
I'm not thinking about that.
Me neither.
One thing I'm most proud about is that we never really compromised the integrity of our podcast at all. We never sold out. We never staged a fight. We never did anything to attract negative attention. Like the views we got is the views we got. We put in the work that we put in. We have paperwork of notes to show like where the structure was in a lot of our podcasts. So I just feel like because we never did anything that was trendy or like anything that just would portray us in a negative light, I really am proud about the integrity that we were able to protect for our podcast. So so those are our podcast questions. Any more before I move on to Marquise's Just Let Me Talk segment? I missed out on. I seen T's question, but I just want to wait till later for that. Yeah. Okay.
First of all, Isaiah, let me explain something right quick.
Right.
Cedric is not the life of this fucking
Oh,
okay?
man.
It's Mr. Cinnamon,
What?
Bro,
Mr.
you're not
Captain
even-
Pornhub,
What did you? Are you kidding me?
Mr.
Nah.
Mr. Big Head,
We about to cut this
Mr.
show.
Uncle Keys.
You
I
just
am the
called
life of the
yourself
fucking
Cinnamon, bro?
Yes, I got a cinnamon complexion.
Oh
What are you
my.
talking about?
Bro, okay.
Good.
What?
grief.
I'm more sending.
I think everybody could agree here.
No.
No.
No, listen.
What, bro?
No. Moving on to your Just Let Me Talk segment. I mean, there's only
Yeah.
so much I can say about this. So, Marquise, you're the main person in this thing. I think you had the idea. We generated it, and we've been able to have your own series underneath our podcast.
Well, with the Just Let Me Talk,
Yeah, right.
I'm kind of still working on the name.
Still working on
I
the name.
still want to have a name that's catchy.
Okay.
I still want to have some spiciness to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually coming along good. I think with this newfound
Yeah.
Spike Keys moment that I have right above now,
Yeah.
you know, the sky's the limit, man.
What was the point of this? Like, why were we even doing this in the first place? I think a lot of people just seen like a random series come underneath our podcast, and it was like, what the hell is this? So, how did it come about? Why did it come about?
I wanted to shed light on a different
Mhm.
aspect of it. Like, it's not always just when we meet up, we're
Yeah.
just talking about serious topics at hand. It is entertaining at certain times, but in order to keep the entertainment part going, I wanted to do that.
Mhm.
I wanted to add some like comedic atmosphere around the podcast as well too. Not saying that we don't do it here,
Right.
but just another aspect, and that's just me every single fucking day. So
Yeah.
I have more plans with that as well too. So.
Okay. And I'm sure we'll talk about that as we talk about future projects
Yeah.
and direction.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess that's pretty much gonna be it for.
And actually, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
We'll talk about that later.
So is that everything that we want to talk about as far as like Just Let Me Talk?
Yeah, I mean, as I still do the videos, if there's any other
Yeah.
type of like topics or anything that you all want me to cover, or if you want me to base my opinion off of something that happened,
Yeah.
I have no problem getting crazy with it. So
Yeah.
pause. But yeah,
Do some skits too.
Right.
I mean, skits is in the line, but
Yeah.
you know,
One thing I will say, just to kind of add on to that, Marquise is just naturally funny, and if you hang out around him, I'm sure you're probably gonna understand it. You understand what I'm talking about when I say like he's just funny, and so I think it's really been a really good thing that we're able to. Well, he's been able to capture it. He does it on his own. Everything that's done is done by himself, except for that collaboration piece that Skeeter was on, where they did Belly versus some other shit. Paid in
Got
full.
35 views off of that.
Yeah. So
Got
I just
what?
want you to.
35 views.
So Marquise is
fire.
naturally funny, and I'm really proud that he's taking the moments just to really spotlight some of this comedic humor that he has. And so I think it's really been a good addition to our YouTube channel. I think a lot of people look forward to that. So
I might do
good
stand up.
job. I didn't say all that.
You can.
I
did
might
not
do
say-
stand up. I
Why
need a
not?
good stage name.
I did not say all that. All right, so we're moving on now. Another series that we have underneath your Just Let Me Talk is Clarity for the Culture. So does anyone want to explain why Clarity for the Culture was even put forward in the beginning? I can do it, but
Go for it.
okay. I figured like it was going to come down to me. So we created Clarity for the Culture just because our podcast was like 45 minutes to like an hour. We were actually going over time in our podcast, and we really felt like the material that we had was just really, really long. And so what we wanted to do was just create another segment that had maybe 10 to 15 minutes of content. And so that way people could kind of get into that. But we can also have more fun with this. So Clarity for the Culture isn't as structured. I think we did TV shows. To be completely honest, maybe we had too many. I'm not going to lie to y'all. We had too many shows. We had 24. If anything, we probably should have had y'all do the legwork for it, have y'all vote until we got to maybe the Elite 8.
Right.
And then we could have did the discussions from there.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's
enjoyed
really
it.
y'all's fault, to be honest with you. Like, we had all of these
Yeah.
fucking TV shows, and
Yeah.
nobody didn't want to say
Great
nothing.
Right,
discussion.
So we
exactly.
just went with what we had,
Exactly.
and then put it forth to
Yeah.
everybody. So I don't.
Right.
If you want some say in terms of Clarity for the Culture, then
Right.
let us know.
Address it.
Exactly. Also, just to give y'all an update, So the prohibitive favorite, Isaiah did call it. It was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air versus Martin. That's what we have for the championship round.
Mm-hmm.
We were kind of running out of podcast time, and this is our last episode. So eventually we are going to do that. I'll probably put a post up just saying what the matchup is, but now that y'all know it. So that's kind of like the update for it. It's Martin versus the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We
In
did
reality,
too many.
it should be Martin versus Martin. You know what I'm saying?
In
So-
reality, it should be Fresh Prince of Bel-Air versus the Bill Cosby Show. But
Hell
I'm not going
no.
Yeah.
over that.
Crazy.
Concur.
If you look at the criteria we created,
I
like
concur.
Martin loses.
Nuh-uh,
Martin loses.
nuh-uh.
People pick what was most entertaining
Yes,
to
yes,
them.
yes.
But due to the criteria, they would have lost. And
Bill
that's just
Cosby
being
Show is not
objective.
entertaining.
Yes, it is.
That's
No,
what
it's
I'm
not.
saying.
You
People
never even
picked
watched
it.
it.
I always watch the Bill Cosby.
Oh,
Bruh,
Are you
people
kidding me?
picked it. People picked Martin because it was more entertaining than like the Bill Cosby Show. But
And
if
then
you
first
that
of-
criteria, he wouldn't have won.
And first of all,
You
the
wouldn't
way you
win.
intro yourself is watching Mav, Seti, and so how the hell you gonna talk about the Bill Cosby Show's better than Martin?
What is the damn slogan have
What
to
is
do
you
with
talking
anything?
about? It should be Martin versus Martin.
You'll be alright.
Everybody better choose the right TV show. I know that.
Oh, I mean, we'll get to argue that, and then we'll see what it is that we get to talk about. So, are there any questions as far as this? Just like clarity for the culture.
Nope.
No. Anybody getting anything on their feeds?
No,
No.
just my
before I
just
move on?
just a cousin of mine saying my head's mad fucking big in the camera. That's just about it.
Okay. Yeah. So let's
Talk
talk
Your
about,
Shit podcast said, yo.
Yeah. Shout out to Ray and them. That's Ray and that's Rashid. They got a new podcast coming out. Talk Your Shit. I think it's about to come as soon as ours is done. So if you missed our podcast, tune into theirs, and you'll definitely be entertained.
Yeah.
They definitely got.
podcasts.
They got some things coming. They got
Yeah.
some things coming. Talks
Talk-
with
Talks
Wine
with
is
Wine,
another
yeah. Talks
with
podcast
Wine.
that's really popping.
That's
What's
my
up with
homie.
it?
Yeah.
Big headed
with it?
Kamaya.
Shout out to KG. I thought her name was KG. Well, she wanted to be. Oh, she has her own podcast.
Yeah, you
and
know,
her name is Kamala.
KG talks spicy sometimes, so that's why she wanted to be
Yeah.
referred as a fucking KG. Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Nah,
What
say
did
you
talk,
my
what did
homie.
Talk Your Shit say?
Huh?
What did Talk Your Shit say? Is that?
Oh, nothing. They put yo in the beginning and they just
Yeah.
drop a honey emoji.
Yeah. Ray, I
Symbol.
also just want you to know you're wrong about that Jay-Z thing, man. But I'm letting it go. I'm gonna
What
let it
Jay-Z
go.
thing?
That Jay-Z situation about like what I said, and then he just had a different point of view. But
Oh, he's for
yeah,
that
he was
movement.
for Jay-Z, so he was for that. But
Oh man!
But shout out to the
could be a
guy,
good
man. We
argument
had
right there.
we had a it was a long argument over Facebook. I regret it, but we had a productive conversation. I think anytime in order to make headway, you got to have these uncomfortable conversations
Yeah.
to really get a better understanding for one another. So shout out to him and his podcast. Hopefully I'm a guest, right? Hopefully we get some collaboration thing out there, and we'll do
Yeah.
that. from
Shout
there.
out to What's Up With It podcast too.
Isaiah, I
with it?
see you. I see you picked the right TV show.
Uh-huh.
I got
We
you.
should have done the polls on social media before, but we knew the winner might. Stop it, Isaiah.
Facts.
Stop it,
You
Isaiah.
see it?
Stop it,
The
Isaiah.
proof is in the pudding.
Isaiah, you know I'm intelligent. Just come
What
over
was
to the
on
smart
IG
side.
No, no, no,
Come
no,
over
no,
to
no,
the
no,
smart
Invite
side.
some people to tune
Come
in.
over to the
man.
smart side.
Isaiah Ratchet, just like me, he understands
Okay.
where I'm coming from.
Okay, so we're done with the clarity for the culture thing. I mean, the next thing I wanted to talk about is just the direction and future of the Oxlife podcast. So, just direction of the podcast first. What does everybody kind of foresee or envision for the podcast?
I see more engagement across the board with everything that we're doing.
How do you?
s-
How and why do you see that?
I say getting more in tune with people that are actually following, not just getting up with people and just doing it. Not even just doing it with having guest appearances and stuff like that off to the side. Getting more input on that. I'll say like, reaching out, just like you saying, to other podcasts and stuff like that to get a general idea on something that we can possibly do collectively as a group. Once we get everything going, I just see it being more live. You know what I'm saying? Like more entertainment on top of that. So
Yeah. Okay. It's fair.
New scenery.
New scenery.
New ideas. Something visual, because everybody has a short attention span, as we see.
We're taking our podcast outside
Yeah,
in the park.
we can.
New scenery.
Honestly, that would be fire.
we playing
Mhm.
basketball while we doing the
That would
podcast.
be fire, actually.
I'm sorry, I
At the-
interrupted
at the
you,
big park?
Skeeter. Now this is distraction of bad ideas.
No.
So continue.
Yeah, just new ideas. Since you guys have a short attention span, we're gonna try to do something to capitalize.
That's Skeeter calling y'all short attention span. That's not me, y'all.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I know.
run up on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all can
Yeah.
run up if y'all want. Yeah, just something to bring more eyes in. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. It's plain and simple. We just need something, another element to exploit to bring more viewers in.
Yeah.
And I think we have enough power within ourselves to make that happen. So that's what I foresee.
Cedric talks like a Black Panther. Like he talk like a revolutionary ish, like Huey from like the Boondocks a little bit. Like it's
You like that?
no, I don't actually.
You mad?
Just what I foresee or what I envision for our podcast is one, actually making it to 45 minutes instead of like an hour 3, hour 9.
That's tough.
Yeah,
man.
I
It's
know.
tough.
But I think it's on us to really flesh out what it is that we want relayed in our conversation and make it 45 minutes. I also think we could take the first 15 minutes and apply it to another segment that we have. So whether it be Just Let Me Talk or whether it be Clarity for the Culture, we can take 15, apply it there, and then really give ourselves a deadline of 45 minutes. Another thing I really do foresee is just us rewarding our subscribers. I think something that we've seen is like a lot of people who subscribe, that being Isaiah, that being T, a lot of people who have subscribed. We just want to reward them, just really appreciate them for what it is that they're supporting us. And I know Isaiah got on, 3 episodes ago, and he's been writing nothing but comments ever since. So I think moving forward, just kind of rewarding you guys, giving you the exclusive link to get to our show early. Maybe there's a chance or a possibility that you guys get to sit in on an episode. We really want to start to reward and incentivize other people to subscribe because, I mean, we feel like we're giving out good content, but we want to make sure that we're really appreciating the people who do actually support us. And so,
Let me make something clear. We structure the shit
Yeah.
pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The content we have is pretty good.
damn good.
The conversations that we have are good.
Right.
So the content is gonna be consistent.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's never gonna be a dull moment with the podcast.
Mhm.
It's always gonna be something new.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be something available for everybody.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, like I said, the more engagement that we have,
Mhm.
the more we can give you exactly what you want.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Talk Your Shit Pod asks, what's good with some merch?
Yeah, no, Tiana asked the same thing. Oh, T. Sorry, yeah, I can put her name out there. Her name is out here, and people can see it. Tiana asked the same thing. We're working on rebranding our logo right now. So the one that you see on your screen probably won't exist come season 2. Actually, it will not exist season 2. I'm telling you that now. But, you know, we wanted to know what it is, what logos maybe stood out. Because it's one thing to put, like, Oxlife on a shirt, but, like, will it sell? And so if we get more engagement, we figure out what it is that people want or people find funny. I know in one of the segments where we talked about polygamy, you said, you don't got the juice like that. And someone made the comment that was funny. And
Yeah.
so if we could find things like that to put on a T-shirt and people could relate to it and it connects back to our podcast, then we're willing to put out that merch. But we just didn't want to do that and have a bunch of T-shirts that, first of all, nobody wants.
Right.
And we probably end up having to, like, peddle away or give away for the free. So once we identify what the brand is, what it stands for, I think we can then apply merch accordingly. But it's been an idea.
There
We
you
just
go.
can't. Yeah, it just needs to be built upon more before it's done.
yeah,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
we're looking into it. We're gonna try to do as much as we can, from Oxlife thongs
Yeah.
to
Okay, yeah, no.
t-shirts,
Oxlife chancletas too.
chancletas.
You know, Papi Jugo,
I would,
my fan.
I would
Yeah,
with socks.
definitely with socks.
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
There's no other way. Yeah. So did we answer T's question too? Because she had a question about our podcast in the next 2 or 3 years. So I hope we were able to touch on that with our question that we just answered here now. So any other comments as far as like direction or future on the podcast before we move on to Just Let Me Talk?
No, I see
Yeah.
like something with music involved in the podcast a little bit.
Okay. We actually had music come on now for like the last 2 episodes, so that's been pretty fun.
Yep.
Like being mixed in
Yeah.
with the show, like
Yeah.
like a segment or something like that we can do like once every other,
Okay.
something along the
Gotcha.
lines of that.
Hold that. Yeah. No, because I know we got comments before. I know
Mhm.
Talk Your Shit podcast, they had asked if we were going to do anything about the top 50 list that came out. And I mentioned to him we might do like that on 2 cents or recent events, but I don't
Mhm.
foresee it being an actual
Mhm.
episode. So maybe in that sense I could see music happening, but it's something to be fleshed out and developed.
And everybody has their own top 50 list any damn way, so it's
Yeah.
like it's gonna be very
Yeah.
conflicting.
Subjective.
Yeah. Shaq's on number 1 on my list. All right, moving forward though. Just let me talk. Do you want to talk about the future of that or the direction of that?
Yes. So you mentioned skits. I've thought about it. I
Right.
think it's a go.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to do skits just pertaining to the topics at hand.
Yeah.
Something to go with what we're going to discuss when we meet up and do our podcast.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to correlate with each other on things of that nature. But yeah, I'm thinking about a couple of different things. I'm thinking about red cup talk when I'm going off of that brown liquor or something like that and just talk crazy. You know, just a couple of ideas. But that's why I said I just wanted to think of a better name for it.
Yeah.
So to catch everybody's attention.
Do you have any suggestions for Marquise and his Just Let Me Talk as far as like what
Just
could be
include me,
done?
and we'll be all right.
Skeeter wants to be featured.
You know, Isaiah tell you're the life of the shit, and then you want to take it to
He's on everything now.
now. All of a sudden, you want to be added to every fucking thing that goes
Why
on.
not?
now. Yeah.
Why not?
I'll think about it.
Yeah. Whoa. This
Oh,
guy.
Isaiah said, "Yeah,
What'd he say?
you need to be close on the mic."
Yeah. He did say you're far
Oh,
away.
all right.
In fact, you're
Smooth,
always
smooth.
far from
We
me.
live, we live, we live.
No, not today. He meant the other podcast. He meant the other podcast. One thing I could see for Just Let Me Talk is
Yeah.
just changing it. I think you could have another segment below it called like Just Let Us Talk. And there's you and there's another somebody that I could see really doing a really good job with like going back and forth in conversation.
Oh, so basically, you saying
Yeah.
Cedric as well too?
Nah, actually, I was
Yourself?
talking about T. I think if you and T were to do like a just hear we talk or just hear us talk, I think you really give like a good male perspective and female perspective just about certain arguments.
So
You talked
basically-
about like mothers or second mothers. If she had a perspective or point, I think it could be comedic genius for both of y'all just to go back and forth and like arguing that point and then exaggerating it, of course, because we appreciate exaggeration. So that's something
basically-
I could see.
So like a debate.
Like a back and forth between like male and a female, and I think you
I
guys
got
have
you.
amazing
Battle of the
chemistry.
sex.
Yeah, to that degree. So certain topics that come up that guys stand on one side, I think
got
she
you.
could stand on the other. I haven't known T that long, but just from like what I have seen, I think she could really be a good point in that. But that's just my idea. That's my suggestion for it to get better. Just saying. Just saying.
Just
Hope
saying.
I don't
dog.
get nobody in trouble right now.
Huh.
Yeah,
Kind of like that idea.
I know. That's why I'm here.
Oh, here we go.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Yeah. Is yours? Okay, yes. Ours is in the same thing. I'm just trying to make sure that's in sync. So I think that might be it just for your Just Let Me Talk segment, the future and direction of that. Now would be the future. I know. The future and direction of Clarity for the Culture. What do people see? What do people envision? And for you guys that are watching, what is it that you want to see? And if I get your questions, I could try to apply them accordingly. I don't want you to go. I want Cedric to go. You always go first.
I do? No, the fuck I don't.
Cedric's the life for our podcast. I want to hear him.
Yeah. Mr. Life of the fucking
Wait, hold
podcast.
on. I'm switching lives because apparently we only had 2 viewers. So I'm gonna just
For
go
real?
to mine.
Something about
You
the
know,
other
that's
one.
actually a good idea.
It did well as it did. I'm sorry. What was
Started
the
off
question?
well.
Go ahead.
My question was, what do you foresee or how do you envision Clarity for the Culture growing?
I want to say add more like sensitive based topics, but I don't want to get too sensitive to the point where
For Clarity for the Culture?
Yeah, like
Sensitive
in
and-
regards of our culture, like I mean, there are a few things we haven't touched on yet, like mental health and things around that nature. Something that's really affecting our communities and our culture. I think that's something we can implement a little bit of, but not too much. We don't want to oversaturate our sentiments and have everybody boo-hooing over the damn net. So, but I think more serious topics like that can be implemented. Yeah, for me.
I can see your point. I just don't know if it's appropriate for Clarity for the Culture. I mean, I think it's a point. It's things that are being done, but in the short span that we have, it's only like 15 minutes that we really have to.
Yeah, that's true.
It could be really difficult to pack high, intense emotion into these things and just like not be able to really flush it out. So,
Or
Yeah.
you can just do another segment with culture instead of Clarity for the Culture.
what?
Or just rename it to fit
Yeah.
what he's talking about in terms of like mental health and
He
stuff
could.
like that.
I just don't want things to overlap with our podcast. I think in
Mhm.
our podcast we touch on a lot of deep subjects. We haven't gotten to mental health, but that's been on our forefront on
Yeah.
our agenda for the longest. I think you suggested it initially.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but just my envision, or what I envision for Clarity for the Culture, just maybe 20-minute segments. I feel like we really cut ourselves short with that 15. So maybe changing it to 20 minutes and just having like a single debate. So maybe LeBron versus MJ, or like best point guard, just things that are more single perspective that we can actually maybe finish within the same time that we start.
So to protect LeBron, can we just do Kobe versus Michael Jordan? I don't want you to harm LeBron in the conversation. So
how do you know I'm not on the side?
No, I just don't want you to harm my guy. That's all I'm saying.
Just bring in realistic perspective that could really damage. Okay, yeah. But no, like I said, 20-minute segments about things that are more so relevant in our culture, things that have been debated about in a while. I think we can always talk about in our Clarity for the Culture podcast. So that's something that I want to foresee. Okay. So I think that's done for the series that we have. However, I want to know what future ideas or what things that you want to bring to the table that maybe people aren't aware of. So any projects that you guys are pretty passionate about. You talked about like a music being involved. Is there something you foresee for that? Like, what is it?
Well, in relation to that, I mean, Cedric is the Tribe Called Quest member over here and shit like that. So
first off, do I need to pull up that video you just sent me in my messages? Did he send you?
No.
I
can't. I'm still working on
we're gonna
that.
bump that.
I got another video.
We're actually gonna bump that in the car.
Nah, we're not gonna bump that.
I am not the only musician.
Wow.
In this thing, Keith's got some bars that nobody don't know. We've been keeping it under wraps.
The
over
next,
10 years.
The next 5 subscribers we gets the exclusive track of
Get the
Marquise
exclusive.
rapping.
That's fucked up.
In the video, you
Trying
gotta
to sell, bro.
This was supposed to be about you. Why I gotta be?
It's a collective unit.
Mm-hmm.
And Canal sitting on the mixtape. I'm not sure.
Sitting on the mixtape, got the cover already ready. So
What's the name of it again?
Oxide Podcast.
Oh,
Volume 1.
Volume 1, yeah. Got a track list and everything like that. So if you try and get in tune, subscribe, and we might drop it sometime soon. So
can we do like a remix to any one of the songs that you got on there?
No features.
No features.
Oh, you want to get J Cole shit, huh?
No features.
Nice.
No features.
And I'm getting on the mixtape.
Whose mixtape?
Your mixtape. Getting on your mixtape.
Yeah, but as far as music, we
Little
will.
Cinnamon.
It's just sick, bro.
Stop.
We will implement something musically. Just gonna flesh out some ideas on how to go about it and how to have some fun with it, and how to actually have another demographic tune in as well. So that'll be in the works.
Yeah,
that will be in the works.
So I'm gonna put y'all out there on the spot because I want to and because I can. We had created like a folder called Ox La Familia, which could be like a media and music situation, and I put Skeeta in charge of it 2 months ago.
Yep.
And so I'm waiting for him to flush it out and take that initiative, which I know he wants. And I think with his creativity and his energy, I think he could really tune it into something really impressive. And so it's going to be in his court. A lot of the media, a lot of the music that you see or hear, I think Skeeta can be in charge of and really bring us to like a new level. And I think if that series can go really well, it could then create its own channel,
right?
Which people can go and support. But I think about music. I think about freestyle and profile, where like new artists can kind of come up here, people who haven't broke yet. Because first of all, we're not paying y'all. I just want y'all to know up front.
Yeah, you're not getting a fucking dollar.
We're not paying y'all to come up here.
It ain't going down.
But yeah, if we could get like new artists who are coming in, maybe we could dedicate like a show to that, where we get to do that, profile them, see what it is that they've done already, what they look to do in the future, and then maybe they could freestyle. I think you could really mediate those conversations because who else knows music better than you, especially like in between us. Although you rap now, so maybe you have some.
What do you mean I rap?
You rap now, so
what are you talking about?
Keith is the man.
No. Skeeta got that title.
Touche.
Yeah. That's another thing. I also see 2 Cents on recent events maybe being able to be a segment in its own for 15 minutes. Maybe we could talk about something that's new. There's always something happening. I think when who's the kid who did Panini in the Cowboy song? The kid who did like Panini in the Cowboy song, Rodeo.
Song? Oh, Lil Nas X?
Yeah, so I think when that situation came about that we found out he was gay, I thought that could be a really prime moment to kind of capitalize off of that and just really talk about that discussion. What it's like to hear that.
Panini in the Cowboy song.
I'm saying his second song he had, like the second single he had was called like Panini.
Panini?
Panini, yeah, that was like the song. That was the name of the second single he put out. So yeah, but I'm saying there are things coming up all the time, and I feel like we miss them because we have our show, and that we're preparing for that. And so a lot of times things kind of sneak into the cracks. But 2 cents on recent events could definitely be its own subject as well.
Fucking Panini?
Oxlaw Familiar, he named it that, brother. You looking at me like I would name mine grilled cheese. Leave it alone. So yeah, a lot of projects that do want to come to life. We want to add more content to our YouTube channel. We have like 3 series right now. I feel like we can make even more. So
Absolutely.
enough of me talking right now. I think we're gonna get into our Ask an Oxa question. So this is the free time that you guys have to ask us anything that you want. If we didn't answer it any of the segments that we just did, then just ask it now.
I said,
He talking about our logo. I just seen it.
said our logo looked like
Boston
the Boston House.
Nah, I'm done.
I know. Listen, any
He's
graphic
hilarious.
designers, if you're trying to run some templates through us or what have you, let us know and we'll take a look at it and we can.
Isaiah, relax, bro.
go
Why you
in
got?
and,
I got somebody.
yeah,
Ambrosia.
to do our logo? Yeah,
Yeah,
she wants to
she-
do
she-
it. We're
she-
definitely willing to
she's-
take some.
She's she definitely tunes in. She's a podcast advocate for number 1. She definitely tunes in to ours, number 2. And she's a great artist, graphic designer, and she's down
Yeah.
for.
I seen a power jacket that she did and it was really powerful to me. So I do appreciate her work. And if there's a chance that she wants to
That
try
shit
to
was
submit,
fire.
Oh yeah.
if there's a chance that she wants to submit, like entry for our logo, then I'd be more than willing to like overlook it and just see.
Maybe
Oh,
I should
absolutely.
put them the
So-
Z's back.
Right.
Like the most.
One question that we constantly get though is, will you have guests on for season 2?
Listen, you all have been nagging.
Yeah.
Not nagging, but it's been very
You
consistent.
guys have really been pushing.
Uh,
Which is good.
Right. To be on the
Yes,
show.
we're going to have fucking. Can we at least get through our first like
right.
season
Season? Can
before we
we-
like
Get our
bring other
feet
people
wet?
up? Like,
Mhm.
yes, we're gonna have guests. Trust me. I don't know how consistent, but it's gonna be up here.
Yeah.
You're not getting any money. I'm not giving away no free
Right.
shit for you to be up here. Be up here
Right.
because you want to. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My fucking head do look big as fuck in this camera. That shit is crazy. But no, yeah, we will have guests up here. We're just trying to work it out. We just won't have somebody up here just to be up here. Like, it's gonna be something significant that they're doing, so we can help promote.
Yeah.
Give them a platform to actually talk about what they're doing and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
for example, even Amber Wood, I know her paintings, her designs and stuff like that. That can be like a good little segment and stuff like that too. So it all depends. It all depends.
I hope she comes out with like a power collection. Does she have a power collection, or is it just like
She
one
does.
piece right now? Yeah,
No,
I'm gonna have
she
to look
gonna-
at some of the
She's
other
doing a whole bunch.
the following articles. As far as guests, yeah, no, not having. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. So listen, season 1, we really want to establish ourselves. I felt like it was really difficult to bring other people in when we haven't even established our own voices. And like Marquis said, the people that we want to bring up, we want to make sure that they have relevant experience to whatever it is that we're talking about. So if we're doing mental health in the Black community, we might target somebody who maybe has experience in that field. You know, someone that comes to mind is OJ. OJ's working out. He got OJ Fit. I steady be calling out OJ in like all these episodes.
OJ Fit.
Yeah, man. But
Shout
like,
out that guy.
there's OJ Fit. There's also my cousin Chuck 100. He has his own fitness thing that he got going on. I would want to bring people like that on because they have experience to what it is that we're talking about. I don't want to bring on people just for the sake that I know them and that they're my homeboys. So a lot of times we put out a link and then we get comments where it's like, I'm coming up there. And it's like, no, you're not. One, because you don't want the work that I'm going to give you. Like, it's not, we just don't get up here and freestyle. And I think a lot of people think like, yeah, no, I'll just show up, talk, be seen. I'm like, it's never that easy. Like, at all.
You gotta come up here with
Like, if you see the paperwork
Come
I
on with
harass
it.
Marquise and Cedric about, I think they hate me until we get to the show on Sunday. And then once it's done, they might like me again. But you don't
we don't
want
hate
that.
you.
Oh, okay,
we
good.
don't hate you at all. We know the professor comes out and we have to do our homework
Yeah.
and present it to you.
It's
No,
not like that. I
no,
just don't
there-
want us to half-ass work and then get on
there
video.
Was,
and
there
look
was times I
stupid.
hated you.
Yeah. And you're better for it, though.
Wait. You said you've hated him But he's saying you've grown after
Right.
you hated him.
But I think he's grown from the hate that I've given him. I think I've been maybe
What
tougher.
kind of backwards shit is that?
I've probably been tough on Cedric to an extent, but I think he's gotten better from
Yeah,
it. I
it's-
think he knows what to expect from me
Right.
or what I would want done. But I think he's only better for it now.
And again, it helped me understand how he operates. Like,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
this where this
But
is
you kind of
everybody's
don't like
slot.
being told what
Yeah.
to do, though.
At all.
You
I
don't
mean-
like being told what to do.
Blame my upbringing.
No.
No, it's
You-
it's literally always been like that. Like
Yeah.
since I was a child, like I would always have to have the last word, no matter what.
But it ain't just the last word. You like you try to outdo yourself sometimes. If we at the bar, right?
Yeah.
We go through 10 drinks. I said, Skeeter, relax. You're drunk. If you take another fucking shot, you're gonna be on the floor or puking or end up with something in the morning. So he goes, fuck are you talking about? Order me 2 more rounds.
Wow.
You don't know when to quit, and you don't know when to take what somebody's saying. You don't know how to
Yeah.
process it sometimes.
That's true.
Then in the morning, like, yeah, you was right, bro. Fucked up last night, man.
Now I'm stubborn to a certain extent because I know myself and I like to challenge myself through all aspects. So regardless of what you tell me, it's like I know I can do more, and that could be the death of me.
Yeah.
But
I think that's been the most frustrating thing for me is knowing what you're capable of and then like not doing it. And it's like, but we know like what you can
Right.
do. It's just a matter of you doing it and not wanting to. And so we
Right.
just push you to do that. But so yeah, that was supposed to be our answer for are we gonna have guests for season 2?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Moving on.
Yes,
Shout
I'll
out-
be up here.
first off, shout out my guy
Yeah.
Keys on IG. He said blessings and positivity towards your way. This shit
Appreciate
will only
that.
go up from here.
Appreciate that. Shout,
Shout-
out to him too.
Shout out to my sis Karina.
Mhm.
He said we all learning. It's a part of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's
Mhm.
just real positive.
I got you.
Shout out to Bay State Credit. Look it up, and you'll see exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. Be sure to do that. Next question we had was just are you looking for a female host?
Keys, you want to answer that?
No.
I'll answer that. So we actually did get a message in our DM. That sounds like so scandalous,
First of all, fuck
which
you,
is
Cedric.
weird. Well, we got a message from like a lovely young lady who I think we still haven't responded to, and I do apologize for our lack
What's
of.
her
It
name?
wasn't
I think
intentional.
her
It
name was
wasn't
Jamina.
intentional. We
Shout out to
seen it,
Jamina.
and
We see you.
Yeah.
we seen it, but we are
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Here's
It
the-
would
yeah.
shed light on something new.
Here's the thing: we shared the page, so it's all 3 of us. It's not just one person. So I think a lot of times we think, well, if I don't, someone else will answer it, and so we never answered your response. It's something that we considered. I mean, it's really difficult because it's like, well, how would it look? I mean, how do we bring in another person? We already have creative differences as it is. I mean, to bring a 4th voice in here, it could be really difficult. I'm not sure if we could get a stable host, but I definitely think we can get more female guests who have experience that we're looking for and that they can tell relevant stuff.
Do you think the female host would step on anybody's toes?
No, not really. Like, I mean, listen, I wouldn't mind if Kamaya was on our show, but she's doing her own show right now. So, you know, after seeing her and what she did that first show, I
Well,
think
she can
could
have
really
2 jobs.
be good. No, you can't. Like, so if I go to another podcast, and am I still a part of this
Take
one?
over.
Yeah, you still a
All
part
right,
of this
so
one.
I'm going to a different podcast and gonna put all my creative effort into
No,
that.
no. Make sure the paperwork is sent through.
Another
Yeah.
quick shout out, my guy Ray. He said this is dope.
Okay.
Shout out to Akima. She said he doing big things.
Yeah.
Everybody showing love.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to y'all. Hey, Ray just came out with a mixtape. Fire. He does all his own artwork,
Oh,
all his
wow.
own producing, his own visuals.
What's up with a
Um,
feature?
So his name is on IG, Papa Ray Dandada 617. Hit him up
Mm-hmm.
for some work. And shout out to Akima.
Trying to get on a song.
Key sound
Big
bites are
facts.
gonna add it to season 2. Like give him a yup fact button to press. That would be hilarious. Yeah. So actually, like no lie, we do have like this whole keyboard here. I'm about to show people. So we have this keyboard over here that we could use to like press buttons, and we just need to send the voice bites over to our producer,
Yeah.
who does a lot of good work and who is really coaching us throughout this whole experience. So that's something we could add to season 2. I think Skeeta has a lot of sound bites as well that are hilarious and really relevant to what we do. But that's a good idea. But we looked into it. We just haven't put in the work to do it. Yeah. Another thing we had is like, can people call in or how can they be involved with a lot of the stuff that we do? Yes. So people
can.
can't call in. The number
Yeah, you
is
can.
85. No, I'm lying. I'm not giving it to y'all.
You can call in. It would
yeah.
we just need to pick a good episode to do it for?
Yeah.
Or will we have it just available just because?
Listen, in order to call in, you're gonna have to cash app us $10. And that's
Yeah.
gonna get you 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
if you really do want to call in, cash app $10, and we'll put you on
Yeah.
in whatever episode you can. Hopefully that dissuades a lot of you people from constantly asking us if you can call in.
Yep.
But yeah, other ways to get involved is just through our Oxlife Gmail, oxlife333@gmail.com.
Or DM us.
Or DM us.
Or
There's-
comment.
I mean, we're so
Or
reachable.
text.
Yeah, we're so reachable, and we're constantly putting out posts about what it is that you guys want. What do you care about? What's relevant?
Yes,
So-
Aaron, I rap.
Yes, Aaron, I rap. So there's a bunch of ways that people can get involved with us and our topics. Moving forward, maybe we go live a few more times. Maybe for every 10 subscriber we get, we can go live. I mean, we're always constantly in a state of evolving, trying to push our YouTube channel to the max. So yeah, it's just another one was why don't we put full episodes on IGTV? I'll answer. Because we put snippets out there, but
we
we don't
did.
put the full video. Yeah. I'll be completely honest with you. So IGTV doesn't pay us. The goal of this is to get paid and to monetize it off of YouTube. YouTube does pay us for the views that we get. Now we need to meet a certain standard or criteria, which we're short of. But IGTV does not pay. So therefore we do everything off of YouTube because it has the ability to pay.
I can honestly say
Yeah.
we probably won't do like every episode. We can probably just pick one just to have one up there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like an older one just to give
Yeah.
for people who haven't seen it on YouTube yet, just to give everybody a different look on IG with like an
Mhm.
episode here and there, like an older one. So I don't know. That's a good. I think it can work, just not consistently though.
We could do it, but I just don't know why we would. It just doesn't serve as any incentive to put it on IGTV.
Mm.
Our link is in the bio on our IG page, so I just don't see the need for it. But
So basically, you're cutting IGTV's neck.
if they're trying to pay us, then I put it back on there. But I think that might be wrapping it up for just like some of the questions that we had seen. Is there anything that anybody wants to talk about that maybe we didn't discuss or that we missed out on? Any projects that we see?
No, not.
No.
Well, Isaiah said call-in should be part of the
That's an Oxford question.
question.
It's not a bad idea. I just don't know if we could get all the viewers that we want. Like, I don't know if we could, like,
Get
would it
enough
take 2
callers.
minutes? Yeah. So we could have it screened out and have people call in. But like I said, I don't know if we'll get to yours. And so, yeah. On YouTube, they give you donation option. I've been looking for it. Find a way to get. Yeah, so if you do the super chat, you can then ask for donations. Choke No Joke actually does it, and then he criticizes Jay-Z all the time. That's kind of like his gimmick. But yeah, super chat will require that. You can do that on super chat. We don't have it yet because we don't have 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, I know what you're talking about, Isaiah.
OT's
Mhm.
favorite episode. Your favorite episode was what?
What men want. Yeah, a lot of
Really?
people like that. It was weird.
They
I just
did?
didn't feel. Yeah, I didn't know if it was that good or if it was just a title.
Huh.
Yeah.
Enter fucking resting.
All right. All right. So we're gonna open it up at least maybe 2 more minutes to see if we get any more questions.
Yeah. Anybody got any questions you want us?
Any questions? Whether it
Any
be on
questions?
YouTube,
Whoever is tuned in this
IG.
thing here.
Now's the opportunity to do it.
I mean, Aaron, to you, yes, I do rap. Cedric snitched on me.
Yeah, I did.
He did.
Um,
And he said we about to play it in the car.
who playing what? Oh, we
He's
playing
about
it
to
in
play
the
it
car?
during in the car.
If my phone don't die, I think it's on the way.
Oh
Mhm.
shucks.
Mhm.
You have it in the archives.
No, I don't. I deleted it. Yeah, I do rap, Aaron. Why you trying to battle?
Oh,
I'm trying to battle.
battle a subscriber.
Let's see.
That'd be a
who
good
else-
one.
Who else is up here?
Oh, I forgot to mention. Probably gonna try to have like another show called Ox Talk, which is being a platform for men of color to be vulnerable and emotional. There was a meme that was going out where it's like, well, who do black men vent to? And there was really no solid answer. So we might try to provide that platform, get some guests
That might be a
and
tough
things like
topic
that.
too.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we'll do it here. I'm not sure if this is a location for it. Maybe a different scene where it's a little bit more formal. We might try to set that up. But that's in the works as well. Also, we have an opportunity to get something through Bravo, which a lot of people don't know about. It just requires a bunch of paperwork that we don't want to do. So that could be a situation in itself where maybe we get some brand backing from Bravo. It's in the works slowly, but surely it's in the works. But
Yeah,
It's
that
another
paperwork
possibility.
fucking looked intense.
It is intense,
Like that
bro.
shit looked crazy.
My guy Keith asks, when's NBB coming out with a collaboration tape? I think that's specifically towards me.
Yeah.
Me and Rick are working on some things as we speak, so hopefully within a month or two we'll come out with like a little compilation tape.
Can I get on the song?
Freestyle. Bro, I'm
Fuck, man.
what you mean? You ain't never trying to
You hogging
pop
the
out.
shine, bro. I want to get my shit
You don't
off.
never want to pop out.
I
Whenever I
wanna
do,
get
I
my
ask, no, I'll leave the rapping to you. Shut the hell up. Shut
Well, now that
up.
you snitched on me, I ain't got no choice.
Yeah, you ain't got no motherfucking choice now.
I need
Good.
a rap name.
I'm glad.
QT.
No, just leave a Q. Uncle
Nah,
Keys.
I like QT.
You
Uncle
could
Keys.
be a pioneer in hip hop like Lady of Rage.
Yep, that's true.
Why you always got fucking?
You can. You can.
Why you gotta bring that shit back
You
up
can.
again?
Lady
I'm
of
never
Rage.
gonna let that
Are you
go.
still sticking by that?
Yep.
You know who also is a pioneer in hip hop, women wise, is Tina Campbell.
Who?
Tina Campbell, the Gina off Martin. They both, her and Lady Rage, have one album out. Pioneer of women hip hop.
Nice.
Why you gotta
Feel me?
violate?
She's in there. She know the vibes.
Chain is violating right now.
She know the vibes.
Pioneer in hip hop.
Feel me? She walk in the room right now. That's Lady of Rage.
Everybody knows her though. Like
no,
she's
that's Ox from like Steve Harvey show, or Baby D from Friday. No one knows her as Lady of Rage anymore. But she does have some health issues going on right now. I won't be
I
too
hope she
disrespectful.
fucking run down on you. I hope you get
She
caught
can't
slipping.
run. We seen that. Day like ditched on her, so we good. All right. So
Rage.
is there any more questions? Best episode yet, because man, that's Isaiah. All right. So I think that might be it for our show.
Yes.
We've been at it 61 minutes ago. Again, just special appreciation. This is for you guys. You've been supporting us throughout the episodes, throughout
Appreciate
IG.
Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, and so we just really wanted to give y'all an opportunity. Well, we just really want to show our appreciation for you guys and make sure that we had a chance to get your involvement, your engagement you have. We're going to be working on season 2. Hopefully it comes to life. Hopefully you can make it happen. Is anything anybody wants to say? Any special shout outs y'all got for anybody else I just want to point out really quickly before we get off?
Basically, everybody that's been tuning in.
Yeah.
Shout out everybody. T, Isaiah,
Yep.
Isaiah,
Yeah.
and
No.
Isaiah again.
Isaiah
Appreciate
is
you.
Hell yeah.
Anybody that's been following us
Loyal
to
since
the
day
soil.
one. Appreciate
Yeah.
you. Anybody that said congratulations, keep doing our thing.
Right.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. I think that's just about it. Now, I
Any
don't want to
special
single
shout-outs?
anybody out, so
I'm singling everybody out. Any
Jeez.
special shout outs?
Everybody on my side who's been tuning in and who
Yeah.
has been letting me know, giving honest feedback, I appreciate y'all. My guy Chris just joined. Shout out to Mr. LeGrand. Yeah, shout out to my baby's Muvs, Ambrosia. Follow her on
my
IG.
babies, Muvs.
AMBROJAH.
Hi, Amber.
Get your artwork, get your jackets, get your graphic designs, logos, whatever you want. Hit her up, send a bag. She got you. Shout out my daughter Avery. Daddy loves you. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Just my shout outs. Gangsta Gary, he's been supportive. My friend Sarah, friend Anna. Who else we got out there? There's a bunch of people that I had in mind that I want to shout out. Just like my pops, he's been supportive. Anybody I complain to and who I harass constantly about this podcast and like my frustration about like my work or like my lack thereof. I appreciate you listening and tolerating me. My friend CBL here, who gave us information about the Family Matters theme song. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Oh, shout out to producer D, who's been coaching us through this.
That's right.
Yeah,
I was
big
about to
shout out
say
to
that.
D.
I was
Yeah.
about to say that
man.
name again.
I mean, listen, we've gone over time a bunch of times. We've been late. I mean, he could really be a hard ass, but he's been lenient with us. He's been flexible with how we approach things and what content we want to put out. So I do want to make sure we spotlight him.
He's the man.
Yeah.
Even though he probably calls us dickheads when we leave
Yeah.
here.
Absolutely.
Marquise calls him Big D. So, there's that.
First and foremost, wait,
There's that.
wait.
You better get your explanation off quick before we get off.
Myself. Let me
Yeah,
explain
go ahead.
myself.
Yeah, go ahead, boss.
It
Mhm.
slipped out. Okay, I said
Yeah.
pause.
Right.
and then I retracted my statement.
Mhm.
It was
So
already too late.
when I went around the glass, I see y'all over here hee-heeing and fucking ha-haing, and I knew what the fuck happened.
Right.
So
You
I
did it. You
said,
was lost.
at
was
first of all, I
lost
said
in the
sorry.
sauce.
I said sorry.
You don't need to apologize to us. Apologize to yourself.
Yes, I did apologize. I said my fault. I didn't mean to
Or
say
you
that.
heard that. I go in
I,
the hallway.
fuck out of here. You said some
All right.
questionable shit too.
All right, so that's just gonna be our last sign off for episode 1. Again, thank you. Shout outs to you, Isaiah Posh, as well. But yeah, no, just thank you a lot. Continue to be supportive. If there's things that we miss or you want to talk about, make sure you reach out and let us know. And then yeah, this is just Oxlife signing off.
Thank
Like
y'all.
signing
Season
off.
1.
Signing
Until
off.
next time, you're.
Season 1 came to a close.
Thank y'all. Till next time.
Cheers.